Hello all. It is Thursday, August 31st, 2017. My name is Doris, and this is the Knit and Purl Podcast, episode 132. Today's title is Stories and Stash. If you're new to this podcast, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you find something of entertainment and inspiration, and that you will click on that subscribe button down there and give me a thumbs up. And for returning viewers, thank you so much that you keep coming back. Thank you so much. You can find the show notes for this podcast on knitandpurl.net. The Purl is P-E-A-R-L. In social media, I am One Fine Cow on Ravelry and Twitter. I am One Fine Design, the number one, on Facebook and Etsy, and I am Doris M. Smith, all lowercase and smooshed together, on Instagram. You can find the links to all of the social media in the show notes, so go down there, click on the show notes, and look me up. Follow me and I'll follow you, if there's knitting involved in your page. Or I know your name. Okay. Sorry I haven't podcast for 3 weeks, and there are stories, so just hang with me and I'll explain. Let me see. This podcast has a Ravelry group, which is the Knit and Purl podcast group, also linked in the show notes and down below. We have birthday shout outs, the Ravelry group birthday shout outs. Let me put down my coffee or maybe I can, no, yeah, I'll put down my coffee. I needed it, okay, hang on. We have 3 birthdays this week in the Ravelry group. And it's just from the 24th through the end of the month. And there are 3 birthdays during that time that have their birthdays shared on Ravelry. We have Erica E., who is Erica. Her birthday was on the 24th of August. We have Youngblood, who is Jennifer. Her birthday was on August 27th. And we have Simona Maloney, who is Simona. Her birthday is today. So ladies, happy birthday. I hope that you had a wonderful birthday, or you are having a wonderful birthday. I hope that you got to spend time with friends and family, that you got to do with the things that you would like to do on your birthday, that you got nice, awesome, fibery gifts, and that you eat birthday cake, or your version of what birthday cake is to you. Also, if you do not share your birthday on Ravelry and you had a birthday in that time, well, happy birthday to you as well. Okay, that brings us to, I have to get back to my notes, the June, July, and August knit along, crochet along, finished objects thing. This contest has been going on since June. Sorry, my glasses are bothering me. And I've done a prize draw of June and July, and I plan on also doing a random number generator prize draw this time for August. But the grand prize is going to be awarded to the person who has knit the most grams and posted the most grams in June, July, and August. So the grand prize, well, the random number, the final random number generator, all these things in here. Sorry, getting out the package, the gifts. The person whose name is picked in the August thread by random number generator, there is one final needle cozy that was gifted to us by Thank God for Bags. And the inside is the pretty blue tonal. And a set of my stitch markers or Progress Keepers of your choosing. The grand prize is, for the most grams, will be some of my hand spun yarn. This is a 2-ply. It is a Cheviot. It's 208 yards of a 2-ply. The fiber I got from Diabolical Yarns, who is here in St. Louis. Yeah, is it going to? There we go. She has an Etsy store. The color is Flamingo on a Croquet Lawn. And again, I got 208 yards of a 2-ply. So that is one of the gifts. And the color is, I guess the color is coming through. It's a little cloudy today, so I'm hoping the lighting does okay. Put this back in the bag. And the other grand prize is this beautiful bag from Sheila of Thank God for Bags. I'm not going to take it out. I've shown it several times. It's a medium-sized wedge. It's awesome, wonderful. And it has a, I don't know what it's called, but it's a substantial bag. It'll stand up. Okay. Pardon my reach as I put this over here. So thank you all for all who have participated. You still have a few hours to get that last final object finished and posted. I probably won't lock the thread until in the morning, so. And that will be September 1st. I'm drinking some Cinnabon coffee that is delicious. Well, let's move along. To story of the week and stash enhancement. And the story, I'm sorry, I might have to take this off, but I was a little chilly, so I wanted something on. This is my Cozy Schlanket mystery knit along from Mina Phillips of the Knitting Expat. Lovely pattern. So the story of the week and stash enhancement is going to be like intertwined this time because there's a lot of stories. It's been 3 weeks. In those last 3 weeks, Ted and I have been on 2 camping trips. After the last podcast, we left on Friday after I got off work and went to Lost Valley Lake, which is a couple hours driving with a camper, pulling a camper. It's an hour and a half away. It's very nice. And it was the weekend, they had a luau. So we had a nice meal and entertainment, and 3 of his 4 kids came and all the grandkids, and we all had a wonderful time. But on Saturday we had to go into town, and we went to Owensville, and I had to go to Walmart to get some bug spray because there's big spiders on our camping site. And while I was going to Walmart, I told Ted I might be in there a while. Of course, he thought it was because I had to go to the bathroom. But actually, I went to look at what kind of yarn they had. So I got this beautifulness, which is a Mandala from what is it called? Lion Brand Yarns. It's 100% acrylic, but it is beautiful. It's nice. It's probably a DK weight. It's 590 yards, almost 600 yards. It's beautiful. I thought at first I'm gonna make a Zuzu's petal, but that's a lot of I could make 2 Zuzu's petals with this. Excuse me. This is either going to be 2 Zuzu's petals or it's going to be a shawl. Surprise, surprise. I also got 2 skeins of Red Heart Scrubby while I was in there because I have never seen it. I got a yellow and a green, and I'm telling you, I'm going to need some help because this stuff is not a pleasant knit. I've got a washcloth, a scrubby that I was knitting as using the Grandma's Favorite disc cloth, and I started it the week after we got back, and it's still unfinished because it's so unpleasant to work with. So if anyone has any ideas or to work with this, if you've worked with it before, please share in the comments below and in the Ravelry group. I would be so interested to see how you use this, and if it's easier to crochet than to knit, please let me know. So then we got back Monday, and I took the day off Monday because I had to go see my electrocardiologist. Good report, everything's good. So I went to Michael's because I needed this little pig yarn. Well, they didn't have it. I went online, looked. It's nowhere. So we'll talk about that when I get to the bag that was in. So I did that, and then but I got home Monday after the doctor and stuff, and I had some lovely mail. I told you last time that I podcast that I had placed an order for some yarn. And it came in, and it's beautiful, 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 beautiful. Blooms and everything. I got 2 skeins of this lovely stuff. It's called Whimsical, and it's a DK weight. It is like a pastel-y rainbow. 2 skeins. It is from On the Round. There's a link in my show notes to her shop. Let me make sure you can. On the Round. She's in Maine. This is not the first time you've heard me call her name. She does some wonderful stuff on the Round. I've gotten her fiber, but this is the first time I've gotten her yarn. This is called Everyday DK. The color is Whimsical, and it's a superwash merino. She was having a sale, I think, and so I got 2. Whimsical is the colorway, if you can see it. It's beautiful, and it's like very generous. It's like each skein is 310 yards. So I was thinking a shawl or of some kind, but I've got Sheila from Thank God for Bags hipped me to the fact that the Wonder Woman shawl is now a crochet pattern. So it's in my library on Ravelry, and I'm thinking this color as the W's and a gray for the outline. What do you think about that? A rainbowy Wonder Woman shawl? Tell me what you think, please. Or it's just gonna be a shawl. I'll put that over here. So then, this past weekend, I wasn't feeling well last week. I just have been having a lot of bone pain, aches and pains, and just feeling run down and stuff. So that's why I didn't, and we were preparing for the bull float trip. So I was just like, I'm just going to wait and podcast next week. I don't want to put up a half-hearted one or be hurried. So that's why I didn't podcast last week. If you watch for any amount of time, this is our, I don't even know how many years we've been going. And notoriously, something has happened on the bull float trip. A couple years ago, as we were leaving, I fell. I fell pretty hard because I was doing something silly. That year we pulled out. We had the pop-up camper then. We pulled out of the driveway and the storage bins popped open. So I'm just like, we can't find the keys. I'm just gonna go and get tape and tape those doors closed for the drive. So I pushed the garage door, because it was in the garage door, ran in, got them, and I'm like, okay, silly me. I'm at that point 55 years old. I'm like, I'm just gonna push this button and run under instead of just pushing the button in the truck. And I got under the door fine, but I couldn't regain I had so much momentum going down that I couldn't. Anyway, I fell. I fell hard like this. My arm hit into my ribs. I suffered all weekend. By the time we came to float, I was in so much pain there was no way I could float. So we didn't float, and Melissa had to drive the camper home, and I drove her car because it was easier. Went to the doctor on Monday and had the rest of the week off with broken or cracked ribs. Anyway, so Ted mentioned, sorry this is long, I'll hold up yarn when I'm done with this story if you don't want to listen. So Ted mentioned, well, there's something always wrong. You're either sick or you get injured or whatever every bull float trip. And I'm like, ugh. So everything was going perfectly fine. We decided that we weren't floating. And I get in, after cooking a nice breakfast, I get in the shower to take a shower, get all cleaned up and dried off, and I'm stepping out of the shower. Reminder, this is a little tiny shower in a pull-behind camper. So I step down out of it with one foot. My other foot slips, goes into the drain, and I ripped my toenail off my big toe. It didn't come all the way. I came up, ripped it up. So I'm like, ah. Oh. So I told Ted, and I'm like, I said, you need to go get ice. So we went into the cooler and got ice, put it in a Ziploc bag. I put ice on it for a while. I pressed down the thing, and then we doctored it and taped it down, and we went on with our day, and everything was fine. But that was the mishap of the bull float trip this year. Okay, so I have one more stash, and that is I bought in July a 3-month club it's a sock weight, fingering weight club from, get this out, from the Yarn at Home Moms, and it's a Gilmore Girls yarn club. I bought a 3-month subscription, and I got my first. So if anybody else is participating in this yarn club and you don't want to be spoiled, look away now, because I'm going to show this beautiful yarn. And I came late to the party, the Gilmore Girls. I just started watching it on Netflix this year, and I'm into my second go around of watching it. I love it. And so without further ado, here is it's basic fingering, the Yarn at Home Mom Gilmore Girls Club, 3 months. This is the August. It is called, it's beautiful, it is called What is a Danish Without Coffee? The dyer says she emphasized Lorelai's jeans and coffee with this. It was the episode where Lorelai was mad. Lorelai and Luke were mad at each other, and it was Danish Day. and she got Rory to go in and was gonna get 2 cups of coffee and 2 Danishes to go. Luke only gave her one coffee, 1 Danish. And she came out and she goes, you can have the Danish, but you can't have the coffee, to her mother. And her mother says, what is Danish without coffee? So also along with the yarn, we got a Progress Keeper, which is a Cherry Danish. Can you see it through the... Okay. It's a cute Cherry Danish. It's from Little Bitty Delights. Baking clay since 2016. Little Bitty Delights. Trying to make sure that you get to see that. So, this is my first time being in a yarn, and she is on is it? Well, it says littlebittydelights.com. Maybe not on Etsy. It's awesome, and with this you get a use thanks 15 for your next order. I'm thinking that's to get 15% off. So cute. So excited. Like I said, was going to say this is my first yarn club. And I really was looking, I heard, I can't think of her name. Anyway, someone mentioned about a Gilmore Girls yarn club and I couldn't find it, so I found this one on Etsy and I'm very happy that I did. I'm so excited and I can't wait for the next installment. So, and I don't know what I'm going to do with the yarn. I'm going to wait till I get all of them and make a decision. What is a Danish without coffee? And that's all of my stash and all of the stories that I have for you. So shall we go to finished objects? I have one finished object. When we were going on our first camping trip, I have all of my works in progress are big. So I brought my bag, cotton, and made Grandma's favorite dishcloth who is a free pattern on Ravelry by, I think it's Ruth Slate. The yarn is Barnett Handicrafter cotton, and the color is, I think it's electric emerald or something like that. So that's that, and I started that scrubby thing that, yeah. I used US 9, which is 5.5 millimeter needles. I think it was a Changgu 24-inch circular. So that was knitted on the first camping trip. I brought the cotton to the Bull Flow trip and I didn't knit. Wasn't feeling good. So shall we go to works in progress? Let me see where we are. Okay. Works in progress. I've made a little progress on my Summer Loving wrap, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by KEF Knits. The yarn is Loops and Threads. Impeccable big. I think the colorway is Erin. Here we have it. There's where I was last time. So I finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern repeats. So I'm going to, I think I'm 2/3 of the way done with this pattern. It's awesome. And I'm just using, okay, let me see, the needle size is, I'm using a 10.5 because I want it to be flowy and big and roomy and lovely, and I think I accomplished that. Again, this is one of my emoji stitch markers. Hopefully this will be done soon. It'll be done It's a summer loving wrap. It'll be done in the fall. Okay, next object is in my bag from Knit Spin Farms, links in the show notes, is my virus shawl. Haven't made a lot of progress on it. A little bit. It is a free pattern on Ravelry by by Julia Marquide. The yarn is Barocco Vintage DK. I'm using a G hook, which is a 4.25 millimeter. And here's what we have. I didn't mark it, but I'm pretty sure I was just beginning the dark purple the last time you saw it, and I have gotten down to starting on the pink. It's a beautiful pattern. I love it. Thank you, Sheila, for introducing me to such a beautiful, lovely pattern. So this will be done soon as well. It's just something else right now is occupying my time. So I got a little bit done in the last 3 weeks, but not a whole lot. My plan is to do another whole repeat of the pink, another whole repeat, which is this much of the purple, like from here to here, and then go back to the dark purple to finish it off. There we have it. The Barocco Vintage DK is an acrylic and wool blend yarn, and the needle is just a Boyd G. That is that. One of these days I'm going to have a whole bunch of finished objects and nothing on my needles. I don't know. We'll see. I have to start new things, I guess, huh? So that's that. And the final thing before the next story is this shawl that I've been knitting. Just doing a double rectangle shawl on the fly, and the yarn is, I believe it's from my surprise stash. I believe they are both Cascade Yarns Eco Plus. They were in my stash and they were starting to felt on themselves. So I was like, let me just get something. And I love shawls. I'm in the shawl spirit right now. So there's where I was last time. Don't look at my face. That is not how I feel about it, but that is one of my emoji progress keepers. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 rows. So it's going to be a nice, big, roomy shawl when it's done. I'm just striping the colors. When I run out of a color, I'll finish with the other color and be done. Just knitting it. I love it. It's a garter all the time. It's wonderful. Let me see. I'm using a US 10 6mm Addi Turbo 40-inch circular on this one. Another big project, but it's so easy. Just sit down and just knit. So that's what I do. Potato chip TV watching, Gilmore Girls watching. Finally, in my fat squirrel bag, there was a project in this. It was the campfire cardie. I was using this little piggy yarn, and I couldn't find any more for a couple of days, and I have been wanting to make this pattern. So I decided I'm just gonna rip it out and I'm gonna make a sweater. I've been wanting this to make this sweater for a long time. I've been been thinking a lot about making a sweater. So I ripped it out and started. This sweater has been in my library since I really started getting into using Ravelry. It is a comfy raglan sweater. It is a free pattern on Ravelry by Jen Dolan. I'm using Reclaim Stash and just stash that I have, leftovers acrylic stash. I'm using US 9. The pattern calls for 8s. I'm using 9. 40-inch circular Addi Turbos. Or no, what are these? Yep, they're Addis. And I'm having the best time knitting this. I started it Thursday 2 weeks ago. Here it is. Here's this little piggy yarn, and I have leftover. I'm planning on using that to make the sleeves. And I'm just doing my own little fade. So I faded here, I faded in the gray, did the gray, and then I decided I'm gonna stripe. So I striped some pink and gray till I ran out of the pink, added in the white till I ran out of the gray, went with the white, added in some more pink, and then I went from that to black and white. I'm in black right now. My plan is to do 4 inches of this, then switch to 1x1 rib. When I switch to 1x1 rib, I'm gonna split it. Do the front and then do the back. So I'll have a split hem. I don't know how that's gonna work, but that's the plan. So you just love it. I just love it. And this is all I've been knitting on. I started it 2 weeks ago today. And I didn't take it on the camping trip. This is what I wanted to knit. I think I was like right in here when we got back Sunday, and I've done that much this week. Right in here. And I love it. I can't wait. It's going to be done before too much longer. Probably by the time I podcast again, unless something happens. I'm planning on making a 3/4 sleeve too. I love it. I'm so happy. Da, 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 da. Here's the back. Tell me what you think. Like I said, this year is all about using up stash. Half skeins of stuff, getting all this stuff out and making something beautiful. This yarn is acrylic, but it is nice acrylic. This is gonna be a very comfortable raglan sweater, and I'm so happy with it. It's a fun knit, easy knit. It's all knit all the time. I'm using a US 9, and this is like a 3X because I want it to be big and roomy. And it's acrylic, so if it doesn't fit the way I want it to, I know how to steam block and stretch it out to make it the way I want it, and I'm very excited and very happy. This is the first sweater I've knit in a really long time. The last time I knit a sweater, it was all pieced together. There you go. So excited. So that's all of my works in progress, my finished objects. Now we're gonna go to Pinterest. And sorry, and the spinning I have, I'm still, I've finished spinning. I've just got to do the plying, finding time to do that, you know, and it's gonna be chain plied, so hopefully next time. Pinterest I'm thinking about Christmas stuff, and it is a pattern for, let's see if you can see it to make sure. It's a bottle cozy, or you can just use it to make a gift bag, and it's a crochet pattern. And you can use any yarn or, a variegated yarn or whatever, but I thought that was a cool idea. And you can see the pattern is there. Can you see? It's a free pattern and it's all there, and it's on a blog. The blog is Divine Debris, Creative, Excited, and Defeat, a Crochet Journey. So that's really, yeah. Like I said, I'm thinking about Christmas and want to do something like this, some kind of like crocheted gift bags or knitted gift bags. So that is the Pinterest. The stumble is 10 life hacks that will make your life better. It says to use nail polish remover for cleaning sneakers. And peel an orange like a genius. It's got you cutting off the top and the bottom and then slicing it and then just opening it up, and you can take the orange slices off. That was cool. You can always store ice cream in a Ziploc bag to keep it soft so you don't break spoons. Putting pancake stuff in a squirt bottle makes less mess. You can clean your carpet with hydrogen peroxide and Dawn dish liquid. Takes away all stains. You can clean watermarks with a lemon, and it shows a before and after picture. And keep the bugs out of your drink outside with a cupcake liner. And this is kind of cool. I like this idea, but I don't know what they're using there. But it's to keep your fire going. Stack up. I don't know. That is pretty cool. But there's no linkable things so you can see what they're using. And you can clean, the best way to clean blinds. They've got the microfiber and tongs. Da, 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 da. Finally, cleaning your window seals with, I think it's baking soda and vinegar, did it say? Yep, vinegar and baking soda. There we go. Okay, so finally, in the links down below and in the bottom of the show notes, there's a link to my Etsy store. I would be so thankful if you'd go over and click and like a few things, and if you find something that you just need to have and can't live without, I will happily sell it to you and send it to you as soon as possible. Thank you again so much, and I'll see you next time for the next episode of the Knit and Purl podcast.